A very good morning to all the audience. Myself, Mrs. Rashmi Vani, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry at VS College of Pharmacy. I welcome all of you to our third Research Connect series webinar, which is conducted to promote research and to build research aptitude among pharma graduates and to guide them on career paths. So, our today's session will be on scope and career avenues in drug discovery and process chemistry. VS College of Pharmacy is being headed by Dr. Mrs. Supriya Shidhar ma'am. Unfortunately, she couldn't attend today's session because of her work exigencies, but I am sure that her wishes will make this session successful. Vivekanand Education Society's College of Pharmacy, it was established in year 2007 under the guidance of Shri B.L. Bulani ji, trustee in charge of Vivekanand Education Society. The institute was established with a mission to work closely with the industry and work on solving problems for industry. The institute is headed by Principal Professor Mrs. Supriya Shidhar ma'am since July 2009 and works with the vision to create competent pharmacy professionals to positively impact healthcare of the society. At present, the institute conducts B.Pharm course with 100 intake and M.Pharm courses in 3 disciplines, that is quality assurance, pharmaceutics and pharmaceutical chemistry with the intake of 15 each. The institute also conducts PhD programs in the branches of pharmaceutics, Intake 12 and pharmaceutical chemistry, Intake 6, and all the programs which are affiliated to the University of Mumbai. The institute is approved by All India Council for Technical Education, Pharmacy Council of India, and Government of Maharashtra. The institute is listed under Section 2F12B of the UGC Act 1956. Now I welcome Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh, Head and Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, to introduce speaker of today's session, Dr. Mymoona Akhter Madam.
Good morning, everyone. Madam, please confirm, am I audible? Madam, please confirm, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Rashmi Madam, for inviting me to introduce our guest for the day. I am delighted to introduce our guest of the day, and it happened to be Dr. or rather Professor Mymoona Akhter. I met Dr. Mymoona Akhter long back when I was doing my MPharm. I was your age probably in 2005 when she was doing some postdoctoral work there at NIPER. And I got to interact very less, but I had been following since then the profile of Madam because she keeps herself updated at Facebook and lots of new things she keeps on doing. Then this year I thought that I should invite Madam for delivering this talk with her experience. So while I was reading the CV, I recognized that she has completed almost 25 years of rich experience in teaching, learning, as well as research. So she is most apt, I'll say, the speaker for this avenue or activity of ours, which is Research Connect series. She is currently professor in Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Jamia Hamdard, and she is also heading as a director for Center of Teaching, Support and Innovation, which is abbreviated as CTSI of Jamia Hamdard. She has completed most of her research from Jamia Hamdard, and she completed her postdoctoral research, or you can say fellowship, from NIPER, Wuhan. Madam has been teaching in the teaching profession since the year 1999, and she was acclaimed many a time with various awards. To be precise and to be specific about, CERC Visiting Fellowship Award by DST in 2005 and CAYT Award by IICT in 2010. These are worth mentioning over here. While I was going through the CV of Madam, it was really astonishing. I will say astonishing because as a teacher, I can understand that the total worth of ground which she has received since she started her career, it is almost 1.7 crore rupees, which is really big number. Congratulations, Madam, and it is worth, and it is really happening thing for us to have you over here. Again, publication session. In her CV, what I've figured out that she has stopped counting the number of publication. Then I had to go to Google Scholar and figure out. I don't know. I'm very sure that Google even not will picking up all her publication. The Google shows it is 143 publication till date, and she has got H index of almost in somewhere around in 40s. To be very precise, it is sorry 28, and ideal index is 61 with total 3770 citation till date. So it is really great thing to note down, madam. Uh, Going ahead, madam has been very active, delivering a lot of seminar and guiding number of students, both, I mean, for research and for career. She has guided till now 7 scholars for PhD and a number of scholars for, I suppose, somewhere around 15 scholars in MTech bioinformatics and many others in MPharm. She has written some textbooks like textbook of pharmaceutical chemistry and delivered talks in international conferences several times. She had been resource person at various places, right? So she is very active person in the field of pharmacy. So I welcome Madam wholeheartedly. We are eager to hear you. Welcome again.
Thank you so much, Mustafa, for such a wonderful introduction. In fact, you have placed a challenge for me by introducing me in such a mega way, kind of. I have so much to learn still because learning never stops, actually. And it's my pleasure to be here today. So, good morning to all the dignitaries present here, teachers, faculty members, and most of all, dear students. When students are there, it like we feel always young when there are students around. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Shri B.L. Bulani ji, Trustee in Charge, VS College of Pharmacy, Dr. Supriya Sinde, Principal Madam, Dr. Anand, Dr. Anita, Dr. Rajshri, Dr. Reshma, and of course Dr. Mushtaq, who is I can take him as a friend because even though we met for a very short period in Nipur, but we had been in touch with each other, and that is the you can say beauty of friendship. You need not to meet actually. So thank you for inviting me to interact with you all and to discuss a very important topic. Although it's a very heavy topic when you say you are guiding students, and you should be very clear in thought process guiding because it is the career, it is the student who has to take a message from here. So thank you all for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you. But I'd say before going into the topic, we need to first understand what pharmaceutical field itself is. And I'm sure the students can answer for themselves that what they expect from the pharmacy profession. It's very clear. It's like very important that you should be able to actually answer this question, what you are expecting from the program you are doing. If you have chosen a particular profession, what you are expecting, and for that you need to know a lot of things. Unless and until you have a basic understanding, it will be very difficult to answer. So we all know that drug discovery is an incredible field within the life science industry. It's not like you cannot cut it down from the life science. So you will be able to develop your interest in biomedical science while simultaneously helping society. And we have actually proven, pharmacists have actually proven that during the COVID period, right? And you can be involved in developing new medicines, treatment for a new range of diseases actually. You will be working with an extremely fast-paced, simulating and exciting sector. And you can say you can be one of those who are at the forefront of the medical discovery. And when you think of getting jobs in drug discovery, you will get a job once you have the necessary qualifications and skills. The qualifications are not enough in today's time. The skills are more important. Qualifications just give you the degree, but you need to have certain basic skills. Right? So coming to the pharmaceutical market, we need to know first basic, can say, some basic figures related to the pharmaceutical market because that will make you understand where you are actually. You are in a very good profession. The global pharmaceutical market size is estimated to USD 209.85 billion dollars in 21, which has grown up to 222.4 billion dollar in 22, and is expected to grow with a CAGR of 9% to 353 billion dollars by 2030. So you can see the huge growth in the pharmaceutical market. Even the pharmaceutical manufacturing market only is at 516 USD as of today. So you can see the potential of the market, pharmaceutical market to be precise. And when you come to the domestic market, the Indian domestic pharmaceutical market, it is estimated to be $130 billion by 2030. Currently, it has been estimated at 42 USD. So you can see the huge growth in the field. And I don't think any other sector is growing except IT at this pace. The country's pharmaceutical export achieved a healthy growth of 24% in financial year 2021. And anyone can make the reason that was because of the COVID, right? And we made supply to almost over 150 countries. But the positive thing is that even after the can say end of this COVID, the market did not stop growing. It maintained its growth, right? So India is already known as the pharmacy of the world. Our Prime Minister had been reiterating this concept again and again, that we are the pharmacy of world, and we have shown it. We have actually proven it to the world that this is the country which can actually cater to more than half of the globe, right? So India is ranked third worldwide in the production of pharma products by volume and 14th by value. The nation is the largest provider of generic medicines. We already know that whenever the patent is over, India is the first to take over, right? Occupying 20% of the global share of the supply by volume, and it is leading vaccine manufacturer. Again, that was proven during the COVID period, where we supplied COVID vaccine to half of the globe, right? So you need to know these numbers, and this will give you a good feeling that you are in the best profession. But the thing is that you should be aware of all the facts, not half of the story. You should have everything before you take up next step. You go read. You have a very basic facility available these days, that is internet, right? So please do read as much as possible. So, in order to understand the scope and career option in drug discovery and development, you need to look into the curricula of your program, right? So, curricula of the program in case of pharmacy is decided by the PCI. So, the program has been decided by Pharmacy Council of India in such a way that it caters to all your needs with respect to your vision of becoming a successful professional in pharmacy field. We are made to study lot of subjects, right? You study a wide range of subjects. You can take an example of dispensing pharmacy, right? The basic subject taught in diploma as well as in degree. So it's one of the subject that is taught, and the name itself indicates that you are developing skill of dispensing medicines, right? The skill, it is not only you are studying, you are actually developing skill. When you are made to do practical in your lab, you're actually developing that skill, that how to dispense a medicine, and therefore you have an attribute to become a community pharmacist. So the one subject has helped you in such a way. So likewise, you also study drug regulatory affairs, jurisprudence, medicinal chemistry, analytical chemistry. These all subjects are taught to skill you with different attributes, and based on your interest you can opt for higher education, right? And obtain specialization in subject of your choice. Like if I'm interested in chemistry, I can go for the pharmaceutical chemistry post graduation in pharmaceutical chemistry, and can develop a lot of skills in there. Similarly, if you're interested in biological science, you can go in pharmacology field, or you can go in the pharmacy practice. You can directly have a dealing with the patients and develop new techniques related, right? So but the question remains, why are we studying all these subjects, right? So you will see, right? Okay, we are in pharmaceutical sciences, so why are we reading lot of subjects? We are starting from the pharmaceutics basic dispensing chemistry, pharmaceutical engineering, biochemistry, pathophysiology. We are taught all kind of subjects. But why are we studying these subjects, right? So you will find answer to this also. The question is answered here. Everybody must be having this slide, right, in one or the other way, and you must have gone through this slide or this we can say representation from number of speakers also. But this is the answer to your question, that why do we study all these subjects, right? We already know that this drug discovery and development process is very notorious and tedious process, right? Both notorious and tedious. Why I say notorious? Because you never know whether you will be successful at the end of all this process, right? And if you are successful, nothing like it. And at the same time, it's very tedious in terms of time and in terms of the uh, resources, in terms of the finances involved, right? So we can simply say it starts with the target identification of hit lead molecules, which involves a lot of chemistry and understanding of chemistry. It is not just that I know how the molecules look like. You have to have understanding that how these molecules work at the biological site, right? So you optimize these molecules with respect to their biological activities. You follow them to preclinical studies, then formulation development, and when everything is set and as per your you can say decisions, as per your directions are set, then you need to go to regulatory bodies. Their regulatory procedures are followed. We need to file an investigational new drug application. Then you can go to the clinical trials, and then post-marketing service. So each and every part of the drug discovery and development stage is very crucial and needs lot of knowledge, because it's at the end the human life is involved, right? So you need to have the best understanding, the deeper understanding of each subject. And since this is connected to each other, you have to study a lot of subjects, and one is interconnected with other. For example, if I am developing a formulation, I need to understand that I am developing a solid dosage form, for example, and the dose is 30 milligrams, right? And I cannot bind a 30 milligram tablet. It won't be we won't be able to handle that tablet, especially if it is for a geriatric population. So you won't be so you need to add excipients like your diluent, then disintegrator is used, binders are used, and for that you need to have the basic understanding of the chemistry, that there should be no interaction, the molecules should not change the chemical properties of each other. So they are all interdependent. When you are giving this tablet to now a patient, then you have to have understanding that where it binds, which site it follows, how it is metabolized. So there is a lot of interconnection between the fields. So you that is why at the basic level we are taught lot many subjects, so that you have the understanding. So then if you're going to industry, you need to know many more things, for which you are taught pharmaceutical engineering even, the process chemistry even at some stages. So you will have good experience, good understanding of subject. You will be able to implement that learning in the future of your you can say studies, career, wherever you are going. So when you think of the job opportunities, job options in any field you go depends upon the qualifications you are. They are defined. The job opportunities are defined by the qualifications you have. We in pharmacy have this D Pharm, B Pharm, M Pharm, and doctoral degree, as in other cases also. So, if you have a diploma in pharmacy, the scope and job options are very limited, right? Because your knowledge is very limited at this point. So, you can be a pharmacist in private or government organization, or we simply say you can be a community pharmacist, right? Similarly, if you are graduating in this pharmacy, the career options widens up, and you can work up in industry as well as other government sectors, right? And this includes your production, sales, marketing, or even at certain points, basic research also. So job options keep on, you can say, growing up when you do specialization in particular subject. When you attain higher qualifications in particular subject, like your M Pharm, So you do a specialization in chemistry, you do specialization in pharmacology, you go for specialization in quality assurance, right? So the job options will widen up, or you can say it will be more specialized job options over there. And accordingly, the job options can be classified on the basis of job providers also, right? We can divide those job categories on the basis of job providers, because we can see largely there are only few job providers in pharmacy, if you say by provider type. This industry, right? And primarily pharmaceutical industry, I can say, because there can be other industries which will be looking for pharmacy graduates, that I have discussed in the later part of my talk. So you can have industry, pharmaceutical industry, then academia. Academia, you need to have some basic qualifications, because if you are interested in teaching a B Farm in B Farm college, you need to have basic minimum qualification of M Farm as per PCI right now, right? And these rules and regulations keep on changing with time. Similarly, you can be a community pharmacist. You can have government jobs like pharmacist. You can be a standard procedure developer, like you get jobs in Indian Pharmacopoeia Commissions, because they have to develop standard procedures, standard analytical procedures for drug molecules. You can go there as a standard procedure developer. You can be a part of the regulatory body. You can join your state regulatory body, or you can join the central regulatory body, like you have drug inspectors, um, um, drug controllers, assistant drug controller. It can be in both, at the central level, at the state level also. So we majorly have industry, academia, and government, who are the job providers in pharmacy. But there are ample opportunities even in this sector, in this limited frame also. And there is increasing demand of pharmacy professionals, provided you have the necessary skill set. Unless and until you have the necessary skill sets, it is going to be very difficult to get a job, right? So if you think of the pharmaceutical industry in particular, uh, the major job provider, who's the major job provider in the field, right? The various department identities in industry include, as I have mentioned some here, that R&D, research and development. It can be in any field. It can be in your basic drug molecule development field, drug, I can say identification of drug molecule. It can be in formulation. It can be in any field. That research and development can be in any field. You have a production unit in all industries, right? And when there is production unit, you have to have a quality assurance unit. And you have to have, once the drugs are, you can say, produced or formulated, then you need to have the quality control on them. The packaging is there, then bulk drug process. There are other departments also. Regulatory affair is one of the most important part of any industry, being it pharmaceutical industry or any other industry. Regulatory affairs is one of the part which any company cannot do without. The If we think of R&D, that is research and development, it has 5 stages, right? First part is research, the basic research. And if you think of any industry, or for that matter any institution, they have their scope and mission and vision, right? And they have defined their area of work also. So every industry has defined their work or area of work. That will be working in diabetes, for example. We're working in cardiovascular region range, right? So so they will be doing basic research in that field only, right? So basic research will mean that they will be starting from the biochemical research itself. That means they may be looking into new targets. uh, the targets can be their proteins, nucleic acids, anything, right? So a person who has good understanding of these concepts can be taken up by the department, right? So you need to have a good understanding, and then you should be able to correlate. It is not only that you know you are good at a protein chemistry. You have to have that understanding how proteins work and how you can target a drug, whether this protein is targetable or druggable or not. There are a lot many things involved. So nevertheless, there is an option that it is a basic research, right? Similarly, when you go to chemistry part, there is again research and development. When you have identified a target, you need to know, you need to find new molecules, right? The new molecules come up. One is the new research, and there is a, you can say, improvement on the existing molecules. You can also do that, that you improve upon the already existing drugs, right? So again, that field. Then you the very new, not so new, I can say, concept of repurposing, right? So there are a lot of drugs which have failed in clinical trials due to one or the other reason, a very small reason at times. So if you're able to work out that reason, you can use that molecule and have a different kind of pharmacological profile, right? So this is the basic research part. Then when you have developed this research into some ideation that yes, this can be done, the concept development takes place. Right? This is the second part of the research development. So first the basic research, then the ideation and concept development. Then once you have developed your concept, you need to design and prototype it. Because unless and until you show that it is working, no one is going to believe you, right? So you need to go for design and prototyping. Then development takes place. Then as I said, the launch and commercialization takes place. So you can have lot of things in one single department. For production, you need to have understanding of the production techniques. There are a lot of jobs involved in production, supervision, wherein you need to have managerial skills more rather than only knowing the subject. Because in production, you have to meet the timelines that this bulk of drug has to be produced in few days, and this has to have these many quality parameters. You need to have the management of the manpower you are using, the you can say basic knowledge of the instruments that are used in the industry. Because if anything goes wrong, you should be able to first figure out, then you can call for a help. Then you need to have some understanding of how to make shifts. There are a lot of things which needs to be like you can say learned and done are done. So if you are good at it, you will be readily absorbed. Packaging is one of the growing you can say market, and we all know that there is 3D packaging these days, right? So I'll come one by one. I'll not be talking most of the basic job options in this talk, because most of the basic job options you can make out simply by going through the pharmacy websites, that these are the jobs. I want to show you something different from this basic kind of things. So, I have, this is the basic things you already know, right? That with a with a MPharm in pharmaceutical chemistry, you can be a medicinal chemist, synthetic chemist, a process chemist, computational chemist, right? You can be any of these. There is a solid state chemistry experts these days very much required in industry, because you need to know the solid state properties of the molecules, and because there's a need for computational chemists these days. Like we already know that wherever the computers can be used, and they have been introduced in the fields, right? And we all are aware that computational chemistry is there. If you have a pharmaceutical or if you have a degree in pharmaceutics, you can have a formulation or process development scientist job, a quality assurance scientist job. You can lot many jobs available. You can have a drug regulatory affair, can be a drug regulatory affair expert with a degree with basic understanding of the regulatory system. But it is not only that the company will take up you as such. Company needs to look into many attributes, right? So with other specializations like in pharmacology, there is a huge scope of pharmacovigilance these days, right? And in India, although we have India is Asia Center for WHO Pharmacovigilance, which is in Delhi, IPC Center. But we unfortunately are very poor at pharmacovigilance at our end. Though there are a lot of centers set up by these departments, but actual reporting is not being done. The follow-up is not being done by the you can say the persons responsible for the activity. There is huge scope in this area. You have huge scope in this area in developing pharmacovigilance, and companies are actually looking for people who will work in this area. WHO is actually looking for this for people who can work in this area, and I can't think any person better than a pharmacy graduate who can work in this area, because he has the basic understanding of all these, right? You can be a PKPD studies studies expert or scientist. So, as I mentioned earlier, that when a patent is over, the Indian pharmaceutical companies take over, right? And when you are developing a formulation, the prerequisite for launching that formulation in the market is that bioequivalent studies, right? And lot of such studies are like happening or do keep on happening in the companies. So the requirement for this is very much there, right? Then you can be an pharmacoepidemiologist. There is one of the other important department, that epidemiology. You can be very very well absorbed in the epidemiology area section, right? Then there are medical advisors, right? You can have a good opportunity as being medical advisors with basic understanding of your field, right? The newer with this uh, you can say intervention of computers and all, pharmacogenomics, pharmacogenetics has becoming one new thing, and which has led to the personalized kind of medicines, right? So there are a lot of fields where you can go and explore, right? Similarly, in case of pharmacognosy and phytochemistry, natural product is the pharmacy of you can say these days. We all are looking towards the nature, and India is very rich in natural products, very rich in natural medicines. We only need to organize that. Although the Ayush has been working in the area for almost 2 decades now, but lot more is still to be done. So you can work in the area, right? We need to have pharmacovigilance in herbal sector, because like it's not that herbal drugs are not having toxicity. We actually need to find out that, so that we can actually show to the world that this is happening, right? This is actually the field where you can make difference. You can have clinical research in herbal drugs, and the herbal pharmacopoeia has been developed. You can work in there also, right? And in addition, you can have Indian Pharmacopoeial Commission recruitments all the time, right? Or other government sector recruitments all the time. There is one more outlook in R&D, that is your biologicals and biosimilar drugs, right? You can have all these areas where you can explore yourself. Conventional drug molecules already there. You already know that there is small molecule development, but the lot of work is being done, or lot of research is being done in biological and biosimilar molecules, right? Where in vaccines you have lately seen that a lot of vaccine work on vaccine viral due to this virology and has come up. So you can work in this area. Some of the job titles which have been given in R&D, which is very lucrative job titles, that is other than this your normal kind of thing, that is senior scientist leader, cell based assay. So if you want to have something different, you can learn cell-based techniques and get into these kind of jobs, right? Uh, because we have a huge number of pharmacy colleges, and a lot of pharmacy graduates graduate each year. So you need to have some niche, some out of the box kind of thing in your hand, which will help you in get the better position, right? So this is one such thing, that you need to learn this basic cell based technique, cell culture technique. You can have a different kind of profile, right? Principal scientist, antibody discovery and development, right? This is one of the things that can be done. Antibody development, right? uh, Bioanalytical scientist. So if you know your basic LCMS MS, you can have a kind of job. Preclinical pharmacology and toxicology, director of preclinical pharmacology and toxicology, computational drug discovery research scientist. So they're all very lucrative kind of jobs, but you need to have some niche in your profile, in your CV, that you are having something different from the rest, right? metabolite identification scientist. So these days, the metabolites are being very much vouched for, because we have seen lot of toxicity due to metabolites, and lot of metabolites are more active than the parent drugs, right? And also there is one area where in the company is severely looking for is the impurity development. There's lot of scope in impurity development in today, because now the pharmacopoeias are not looking only into the drug profile in terms of the efficacy. They have set conditions for impurity and identification of the impurity, percentage of impurity, what type of impurity, because these impurities we normally used to neglect, and had led to severe consequences and failure of drugs, right? So the area is very upcoming and is being looked for. You can have a scientific programmer, web developer. Normally pharmacy people don't think of that, right? So because see, if I try to be a web developer, I need to know certain basic knowledge apart from the you can say basic computation and basic computer knowledge, because computer people can develop web pages, but they cannot develop a web page related to pharmacy, because there are a lot many things which they won't be able to understand. So if you have kind of an extra knowledge about your programming part, which you can gain by any method these days. There are online programs. There are a lot of other resources wherein you can get these basic small qualifications, 3-week program, 4-week program, and you can develop these things in you. And you can be a wonderful scientific programmer or web developer, right? There is one more technique, that's electron microscopy software. This is software again. So you have a basic understanding what is electron microscopy, and if you develop some basic computer knowledge, you will be a like you can say you will have an edge in getting these jobs. We already have understood these. These are some jobs what I was mentioning. We already have talked about this, that computers in drug discovery and development. The computers have left no field untouched these days, right? Or I should say rather, it's an AI, artificial intelligence now in drug discovery and development, right? And various specialties wherein we use lot of computers, as like over here you use chemoinformatics, bioinformatics, informatics, pharmacogenomics, right? All kind of medicines, and that with the we can say solving that human genome project, the personalized medicine has been we can say a very hot area of work. And also the medicines for rare diseases, like, because rare diseases is area where not many people work in, and computers can be of very help in this area. You have to have the genomic data of the person with rare disease, and you can identify what is wrong and which what part of the gene goes wrong and how you can handle it. So you can have lot of options in the pharmacy if you go if you think, or if you take your education out of the box, right? You need to have the basic pharmacy qualifications, but you need to have something more to that. And I can say that artificial intelligence tools are revolutionizing nearly every stage of drug discovery process. Every stage you think of anything, the AI is there, right? And the field of AI has witnessed many changes recently, particularly with the development of the very advanced hardwares, right? And we have the availability of big data. Over the years, we have generated so much of data, and we have huge data available for training. So if you have good data for training, you can develop wonderful solutions by using these AI technologies. As biomedical data is becoming increasingly more available, right? This machine learning ready digital formats can be easily developed. And it is now possible to deploy any AI or ML technique to support healthcare research, right? The research-based guidance with the DL models used to predict avoidable hospital readmissions. Right? because we don't want patients to go again and again to hospital. So these can be achieved by these DL models, right? And the clinical trial participation selection can be done on the basis of the uh, developed AI models. Because a lot of already data is available related to the clinical trials, you can use that data to develop new models, right? So there are some networks which have been very encouraging in combining with machine learning tools. Like there is generative adversarial network, which is when combined with machine learning tools, they have helped gain credibility to standard drug discovery tools. Like they can be used in most of the drug discovery tools. So why not learn some basic machine learning techniques, or why not learn some basic artificial intelligence techniques? And the process of this drug discovery and development, which was earlier 14 to 16 years, has at least reduced to 12 years or 10 years. And the amount of the money involved has also reduced, right? I'll show you some basic some slides which are related to use of computers in various areas of healthcare. I won't say only in the pharmacy, because you have to be very smart in using your knowledge, what you have gained, and you can go absolutely in any field of health sector except being a doctor, right? So you can go into any field of the healthcare sector. There is a generative chemistry where all artificial intelligence and machine learning is used for small molecule discovery. We use these techniques for target discovery. They are being used for clinical trial outcome predictions and design. They are being used for medical writing market, right? Medical writing market is one of the market which was well boomed or well grown up in India, right? And there are a lot of jobs in medical writing market. And this AI medical writing market is very huge when you talk in terms of size, right? You can see the market size of this medical writing. It is estimated as 74.53 millions in 23, right? And it is expected to grow to 1.76 billions by 2030. You can see the potential of the market. So wherein you can say push in clinical writing, right? Typewriting, various type of writings, scientific writing, right? Others, whatever can be there. And you can see where is the market, major market share is the US. We in India have a lot of potential in these. We have young population, we have growing population, and lot of pharmacy professionals out here. So you have a huge scope in this area. You must have heard about that chat GPT, and everybody is worried that will chat GPT replace human source. No machine can replace human source, I believe, if you keep a tab of the advancements. You need to learn those techniques. You need to keep a pace with it. If you don't keep a pace with it, it definitely is going to replace you. We can see other healthcare job options, right? And uh, there is the most of these jobs are related to the IT. You need to have that extra edge to get into these jobs, to get or develop. No, I won't say to get these jobs. I would suggest better be a job provider rather than be a job seeker, right? You can develop a lot of things, or you can develop in collaboration with people from computer science, right? You need not to work all alone. You can have a collaboration, right? So you can be a collaborator with any of the computer science professional and develop these things. You have the pharmacy knowledge, he has the computer knowledge, you can work wonders, right? So these are other job options where you can have healthcare IT market. I'll talk a little bit about most of them in coming few slides. Telehealth market, global mental health app market. You hear it correctly. It's an app market, right? Clinical workflow solution market, cosmetic chemicals. You already know about the cosmetics, right? We do study cosmetology in our B Farm. Right? Contract development and manufacturing organization, the nutraceuticals. We all have studied nutraceuticals, right? So you need to make a niche in these. You need to make an impact on these by your knowledge. Medical devices, right? All kind of now medical devices have come actually into the Pharmacy Act, right? So pharmaceutical advertising, right? If anybody is good at advertising, he can very well grow in pharmaceutical advertising. Then pharmacoeconomics is one of the we can say cup who is actually interested in economics, a cup for the one who has a taste for economics, right? You can have all these fields where you can explore yourself or explore your interest. So look into the healthcare market, right? You see that it is by size. The healthcare market is $167 billion in 2022, and it is expected to grow at a CAGR of 17.9%. You can see the growth rate. 17.9% is a huge growth rate, and you can see in every field electronic health records, right? All hospitals look for the electronic health records. No one wants to maintain the physical records now, right? And who is better in putting down these records, making a program for these records, right? No one can be better than a pharmacy professional with some computer knowledge, because you actually understand what is the symptoms, what is the treatment, right? And how it can be correlated kind of things. Computerized provide order entry systems, electronic prescribing systems, right? Lot many things. Laboratory information system, you already have some kind of understanding that for example in North India we have this Lal Path lab, or you must have heard of SRL labs. Like I give a sample and I get all the things on my phone, right? So all laboratory information system is there. You get all the details over there. You don't have to go in no hard copy, nothing, right? You just simply have to develop a system and you can be there. Clinical information system, then telehealth, right? Telehealth is one area which is making big difference in today's scenario, where we have shortage of healthcare professionals, we have a shortage of basic resources, hospitals, and all, right? So telehealth is one thing which will help us attain a good healthcare sector, right? And the healthcare IT market, which was growing at a rate of 16.7 before pandemic, it has grown to 31.6 and 9, and is expected to grow faster in next 5 years. You can see huge potential in these areas. If you go by the application share, that which what type of application is using, like electronic health records is used, right? Computerized provide order system. Majority of the market is by the computerized provider order system. You can see that which area is growing and you can invest, or you can go into that area, develop your mark your impression on that area. And global market size $167 billion. Matlab, this is a huge market. And you can see this is a trend by IT region, by regions, that where healthcare is used using IT technology. You can see the North America is the majorly using this technique, and some part of the Middle East Asia, right? Middle East Asia, but we have not yet started doing it. Right? India has not started doing it. North America has more than half of the share, revenue share of the market. We have not even started it. So you can see a big uh, area, big growth in this area in India in coming time. So you can use this opportunity to develop into it, right? I can share an example from my college also. We have a student from in pharmacology department who had his project related to diabetes. So he developed a basic app wherein he mentioned that he will be guiding the diabetic patients, he will be enrolling diabetes patients, and then he'll be guiding them he'll be like kind of following them about their health, about their medicine, any kind of drug interaction, any kind of adverse effect, whether they are following the drug treatment properly, they are taking their dose at the right time or not. and he was developing this basic tool. And when he loaded this app on the site, so you won't believe, there was another company who came up to him, that he said that he was doing this for the 6 months. The company offered him that you only have to launch this app through our site, through our app site, right? And we'll give you 25,000 each month and take all the costs related to it with respect to patient handling or anything that is related. It was a small app, not much. So you can see the potential that is in this area. So you actually need to think, as I'm pointing out again and again, that you need to think out of box. That yes, I don't have to stick to, oh, I have studied chemistry, there is no job in chemistry, how can I work, right? You don't be a job seeker, as I mentioned, be a job provider. So you have to think that in out of box. So in India, we have huge potential in this area. Telehealth market, right? As I mentioned, this telehealth market can be a very a good platform. It can provide us a very good platform for uh, growth. And we have seen that this is at 83.5 billion dollars at right now, and with a growth rate of 24%. uh, what made this happen is, we all understand that growing smartphone penetration, improved internet connectivity, these have enabled us to reach various areas, remote areas, right? And there were certain gaps which were addressed by government also, because nothing can happen without, if government does not provide this basic facilities, it will be difficult for us with all support from the government agencies. But the point remains that growing smartphone penetration, improved internet connectivity has enabled to address these gaps, wherein we were not able to reach remote areas with this healthcare system. And you can see the India is growing in this healthcare system, right? And but there is again huge scope, right? And we, as I mentioned, there is huge shortage of healthcare professionals, and the adoption of this AI will be used to improve the accessibility of healthcare service in remote locations and reduce healthcare expenses, right? Both. We do not we won't be required to visit again and again to hospital, right? Sometimes we are able to go to hospital, other times we may not be, due to various reasons, right? So it will reduce the healthcare expenses also. This technology can help us deliver patient centric care, which is the very important part in healthcare system, the patient centric care remotely, by using these techniques, right? We can handle emergencies in this by these techniques. As I mentioned, the mental health app, you need to be very clear about these things. This is app, right? So market size value is $5.2 billion and growing at a rate of 15.9%. Right? So this app has actually facilitated and promoted well-being, right? And is helpful in fueling the productivity of people. So when you feel mentally happy, the productivity is more, right? If I'm feeling mentally depressed, there cannot be good. I cannot have a good outcome with or anything I can do. I do, right? It cannot be there. So you can see the global mental health app market around. So depression and anxiety management, right? The biggest part of it is on that, because depression is one thing which you cannot see a person like having any kind of disability, right? But he is not able to do many things, is not able to perform professionally, right? Meditation management, stress management, wellness management. So you can see a lot of apps related to different areas, right? So uh, I had gone through a study in that was published in Journal of Medical Internet Research, and it evaluated the effectiveness of app for promoting well-being and stress management, and it has actually demonstrated positive results in managing the stress reduction, right? So we can see by using simple apps, you can see a lot of ads in your Facebook about workouts and managing mental health, right? So you can work with this area. The Asia Pacific region is growing in this area and has a substantial growth rate over the past few years. You can have a very good, can say, growth in this region. The another important area where you can make a difference is clinical workflow solutions. Okay? So you need to first understand what is clinical workflow solutions. Clinical workflow solution is I can say cloud-based platform, and that optimizes clinical care communication and workflow and lessons on human documentation. है ना? So humans normally, like, if I visit to a doctor, he will prescribe me, he will say that you have to take this medicine for 5 days, and after 5 days change to this, right? And then do these kind of things. And for example, if there is tapering of drug, he'll mention it to that. This is all humanly documented, but this can be managed by the softwares. Now that it can be managed on a software, and because softwares do not change by their own, or they cannot, like, they help us in managing the system. So you will see a better results with minimal errors, we can say. So, in fact, in this area, the government initiatives have driven the demand, right? And the growth of market at 12.4% is very good, in fact. You can take it from the other European countries or US. The UK has made a policy for this, that the by 2021 to 22, everything and all the things will be done by these kind of clinical workflow solutions in hospitals. Right? So in a way, they are trying to manage or minimize the human errors. Right? In Asia Pacific region, it is expected to be fastest growing market with projected CAGR of 13%. Right? So you can see in these fields that there is a huge opportunity. This is by share, that how hospitals use these. Majority of the major share of this is used by the hospitals. Then long-term care facility where required, like in case of geriatric patients. And the ambulatory care centers have been using this clinical, because ambulance is a area is of an emergency, right? So there is no scope of error. So they have been using this increasingly. So you can find lot of scope in this area also. Then cosmetics you already need no, but the important part in cosmetics, what interested me, that is the concept of beauty from within, right? It has come up very recently, like it has been like promoted like anything. uh, you see any kind of ads, organic growth, right? And you should eat healthy, you should do healthy. So it has the concept of beauty from within, and it's trending among the millions, wherein consumers are convinced to take the nutraceutical products, right? A lot of nutraceutical products are being developed, and we already have been using actually nutraceuticals, like we all use those figs, lot many other kind of dates, other kind of tulsi. They're all nutraceuticals actually. So but it has created a market, right? And this market is actually connected to directly to cosmetic, because no one wants to have those wrinkles on face, typically women, right? So women cosmetic market is very huge market, so you can make a difference in there, right? And the market is growing at a very good pace. Cosmetic chemical market is growing at 4.8 percent pace, right? So you can have all these kind of things, and you think where you can make the difference, which area you can explore into. Another important area is the biomarker market. So the cancer market is one of the you can say one of the biggest market these days. Okay? So market is growing at a pace of 13.3%, right? And you can see the different biomarker markets. I have taken this slide from another website. So you can see that markers growing rates. Right? So, in recently in 2023, Abbott has announced that FDA cleared the first commercial availability of laboratory traumatic brain injury blood test, right? So all blood tests are based on markers, right? So if you go for simple liver functioning test, you check for biomarkers, right? And simply they have developed the first time, and it has been approved by FDA, the brain traumatic brain injury blood test. That means you need not to check many other things. You simply have to take the blood and identify that marker, whether that marker is present in or no. So it is making a huge difference. Similarly, Thermo Fisher has recently partnership with AstraZeneca about developing the blood-based and solid tissue companion diagnostic test, and the test is related to non-small cell lung cancer. Okay? So you can develop biomarkers, and it is a very big field. Developing biomarkers, and like in COVID, during the COVID period, lot of COVID test kits were developed. Right, rapid kit was developed immediately. We could work like anything. So you can see the potential. We have the potential. We only need to scratch our heads, right? 3D printing, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the big market, and you must have heard about 3D printing of tablets, right? It is just printing. It is just kind of normal printing, but printing number of times the same layer, and the market size value is 20.37 billion as of today, and it will be growing to 88.28, right? So huge scope, and we have not yet touched the 3D printing in India, right? Nothing like it. So we have huge scope in 3D printing. You just need to get a small edge, get a small training, get a small workshop done on these kind of things. That will make difference in your career. Get a small course of 1 month, small course of 6 months done in a particular course you are interested in. You will see huge difference. That will open up lot many things to you. Only doing BPharm or MPharm is not going to help us, because it's not only about now punching tablets. It's much more, right? So the healthcare printing market provides significant opportunities for hearing aids, dental implants, prostheses, contact lenses. Name it, and name it, you are there, right? So you need to look into it. As I mentioned, the market has not touched yet the Asia. You have a huge scope in developing there. This one of the other topic which is very much in India, that is contract development and manufacturing organization. We already know this, right? Contract research. We have huge mushrooming of contract research organizations, but you can see the market. Market is growing at a rate of like more than 20%. You have a huge scope in this market, and as the graph, this figure mentions that the market is majorly in Asia. I was one more thing. I think I have missed some slide in this. What I have uploaded in this. I would like to first point out across that there must be one question striking to a lot many peoples, that whether it is working, what is better, working in industry or academia. Lot of students must be struggling with this question, and I don't think there is much difference between working in industry and you can say academia. Both are having good opportunities and are huge motivators, right? The difference is that the industry has its own agenda, and if you are interested in working in your like a particular project, you won't be able to do that in industry. In academia, you have a free hand kind of thing, and then you can go for your own what do you say, own industry kind of thing. Own You own a particular project, you can do by your own. because the government is supporting like anything through its project from MESC, right? And it is supporting to all those newcomers by providing grants and all. So you can do that. So you, it is only whether what you want to do, whether you have your own project or you just want to work and do whatever is given to you. It completely depends on you. So, with experience, of course, you will begin to get clear ideas of which working style you will prefer. Like, for example, sometimes I go to like if I join an industry and I realize, oh, industry has its own agenda and it's working in this particular area, and I am not able to put across my opinion in particular way. So you will find that this is not your cup of tea. After working for few years or few months, you wish a shift. So it will come only after you have worked at particular place. Similarly, at academia, you may say, oh, it's a slow pace kind of thing. But the advantage is you can work at your own pace, and that some people that is the advantage, that they can work at their own pace and have free hand working, and they also get government support. So in if a person doesn't feel the pace is of his choice, is according to his like growth, they can change to industry or they can do their own ventures, right? So but if you are looking for a job in any industry, you should have a solid track record, right? A good publication, and above all, you should have good communication, right? Teamwork and leadership skills, because like good communication is the one part wherein you will be able to put across your opinion. If I am having a good understanding of the subject and I am not able to put it across the table, it is of no use. So you need to have some basic skills before going out to search for your interest, right? So you should never ask, never regret asking a question, right, about your field of interest. Never regret. You should not be shy. You should come up with your question, whatever comes to your mind. It shows initiatives as well as passion and determination about your field. All the best. I hope I have given some insight into the topic, and I hope that lot of students will take things from here. Thank you so much for patient listening and giving me so much time. In fact, I have exceeded my time.
Thank you, ma'am, for this insightful and informative session. This session was live on YouTube and we had several questions pouring in from the audience. Madam has explained in detail on job options in the field of pharmacy. Madam has thrown light on how to start with the basic research, ideation concept, production and packaging of the pharmaceuticals. She has also added about jobs available at research and development area like pharmacoepidemia, medical advisor, pharmacogenomics, natural product scientist, biologicals and biosimilars, metabolite identification scientist, improvement development, identification and type of imperative present, scope of AI in drug design and discovery, global mental health app market, 3D printing, contract research organization market, and so on. So, with your permission, ma'am, I would like to take up the questions put up by participants. So, can we go ahead?
Yeah, sure, sure, please.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, Participants want to know job opportunities in chemoinformatics.
As I mentioned, chemoinformatics is when you have basic understanding of the any subject, and when you see and you have informatics knowledge. Uh, Chemo means you are dealing with the chemistry, and all companies have this kind of wherever there is the research center, they'll be having this chemo informatics center, and you have to make a difference in like your understanding. Unless and until you have something special, no, company will not take up, because having simply an understanding of that, yes, I can draw structures on computer system, and I can do docking part, which is not absolutely a chemoinformatic, but you should be able to deliver certain things a company is looking for, because company has a very desired needs. There's always a scope in getting into companies, but you need to have that special thing in you which you can actually tell them that yes, why they should hire you. You should be having that kind of zest, that why should I hire, why should you hire me. You should be able to ask, in a position to ask company that yes, I am good for your company. You should be able to identify in yourself that where you can help them. There are jobs wherever you apply, there are jobs, not only in your companies. There are jobs in private academic sectors also, where there is those what they are called innovation incubator centers. So if you are going to have some good understanding of subject, you can always have your project incubated at any point and you can grow up. Because large companies, big pharmacy companies, have actually stopped working at the basic level. That chemoinformatics makes it the basic research. So they have stopped working. So they are simply taking up a small units, overtaking small units when they have something good at hand. So you can work at your place. You can apply to government that you have a good idea. You need some support to develop this, and then you can work in collaboration with the big company. Don't straight away look into the company profile. You can look, but then again say, okay, you have to have answer that question: why should a company hire you? What are you going to give your company? Because company will first think their about their project, their benefits, rather than you. So you should be able to answer that question. The company will take you up.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next question is career options after PhD for academician.
Anywhere, that there is no question that academics is a cup where you love teaching, but it has not remained so simple. With NEP, you have to have lot many things in academia also. It is a more of student centric teaching also. So it is better to have that training first, because there are a lot of agencies that provide training in curriculum development, in teaching also, and which will help you actually understand where you can deliver. And once you have those attributes, you can where even if you apply at any place, they will be able to they'll be happy to take you, because the NEP is the thing which is sought after these days.
Okay, ma'am. Next question. How do you look at the job opportunities available with startups or CROs?
Job opportunities, CROs are companies which have contract about from big companies about their certain project, right? And it the project, it depends upon the CRO primarily, because for example there are companies which take up the synthesis only, synthesis of drug molecules from big companies, and they will require a lot of synthetic chemists in there. They do not do basic kind of research work. It is only a chemist, or you can say synthetic chemist, which will keep on synthesizing those, which will help them develop basic synthetic routes for that. Then there is a second sector which goes into the bulk process chemistry, bulk chemistry. CROs are majorly related to basic level of chemistry, like designing of synthetic routes for particular molecule. They get those projects, or CROs are about developing the validation methods for particular drug molecules. So it depends on the interest of a student. If he is comfortable with only doing the normal synthesis and developing synthetic routes, they have a good scope in CROs. But you can, I would suggest, you can have a better startup. If you are good at chemistry, you can better have a startup. Or if you're good at you can say any particular subject, it is good to start up with the help of the government funding, because it requires a lot of funding. A lot of funding is required to develop a particular startup, because if you say, even if synthesis, lot of chemicals and place is required for primarily place is required for that, then you need to have a lot of accreditations for that, lab recognition certificates for that. Then you can synthesize for identifying companies who will give you the projects, then it's a big task. You can do it, but it will take some time to actually pick up.
Next question, ma'am. How we can learn or become expertise in AI related to pharma?
There's a lot of programs available these days. There is nothing directly related to pharma, right? You can see chemoinformatics, bioinformatics, they are not directly related to pharma. You must have studied pharmacogenomics, and pharmacovigilance is there. It is not directly related to it. You need to have basic understanding of the programming, basic understanding, so that you can actually correlate things. This pharma will give you the data. You should be able to manage, you should be having that knowledge how to manage a data, right? So basic understanding is there. That way you need to have some experience in computer science. There are SWAM platform from UGC, which provides lot of courses on computer science. They are all online courses, and you can join any of the course and can learn basics of AI. And then you have to take up your data and try to figure out that how you can develop a solution to this particular data. A simple example is that, for example, your pharmacy, your hospital is having a patient inflow of a certain amount, and not all patients turn up regularly. So you can develop a kind of platforms to solutions. What problem is there? Why patients are not coming back? Or what is there with respect to their dosage and all? You can develop anything, but you need to have basic understanding of the programming for that. And then you can get this data and integrate into a program and develop solutions to that. It is simple solutions like that uh, a grocery store has, right? He has a tally program. He has a basic program that he enters all the things he has in his store and can predict what is shortage and what is not short. So he has to have basic because you are developing that program, you need to have AI knowledge, and that can be gained from any platform these days. Even YouTube is freely. You can have a lot of classes on YouTube. But if you want to have particular short-term course, there are MOOC courses that are available with SWAM platform. You can go through and have basic knowledge and integrate to the farmer.
Last question we have. How can we speed up PhD work from our side so that it will complete in 4 years?
You should ask you this question to yourself, right? How can I say, how can you speed up? It is the dedication, right? And it's not about speeding up, it's about doing the right work. You cannot speed up things. You can use technologies to help you get desired results. You can use technologies to reduce the manual work, but they cannot replace you the basic biological work, for example. They cannot help you reduce the basic chemical work you have to do. There is no question of like replacing animal activity with the computer based activity. You can reduce it, not absolutely replace it. For example, I am doing chemistry, a PhD in pharmaceutical chemistry, so I have to synthesize some molecules. So I can have an hypothesis, check out the molecules through a number of softwares, computer-based softwares, drug design-based software, that I do not need to synthesize all the molecules, all the 100 molecules. So that way I can reduce the number of the human effort, but it cannot absolutely replace it. And if you are going completely on some software base, then also it cannot be you have to work in that field. Speeding up completely depends on you and your planning. How do you plan your work?
So,
Absolutely. I just suppose, madam, that that question was neither from your student nor from my student. Madam, I'll take this opportunity. to say few words over here that you had been emphasizing that add to the skills to the student. So this seminar series is particularly for the students who would want to choose research as their career. So and other part is that many of the time students get the same scale when they join, for example, as uh, they get the same skill as BForm. So, but what happens that when they are growing up in their career, they rise quickly. Maybe they will start at the same level, but they rise it
Absolutely.
quickly, and that's why they should always choose, if they are choosing to go in the research and development. Particularly, they should choose to do MForm. And while they're choosing the college for MForm, that becomes really great deal of it. I mean, what from what launchpad you are getting, that makes sure that what height you are going to achieve. So please choose right college and right institute. It gives right values, what you adds right value to your CV also. Like for example, I just
Absolutely.
quote over here that at VS College of Pharmacy, we offer all three streams of pharmaceutical sciences like QAs, pharmaceutics, and pharmaceutical chemistry. And we assign the research advisor from academia or from industry to each student. We have a research advisor at institute itself. Then we provide opportunity for internship at the industry. We appoint students for doing the project which are funded by industry. Our research culture, as a experience guide. We give state of the art facility. We also give right set of teaching, learning, as well as the research experience to the student. And obviously, at the end, our placement team is very supportive, and they help the student to get the right opportunities for their career. So this is something about Vescop. I said I would request madam to tell why people should select, let's say, Jamia, and what is Jamia, and what is special about Jamia Hamdard. Definitely, I know from NRF that you had been topping out there. So I would even as a teacher, I would like to know that what is special about Jamia Hamdard.
Jamia's specialty is its faculty. You wonder about its faculty. Dedicated faculty uh, with lot of experience. And experience is one thing that comes with time and interaction with the society. And we at Jamia Hamdard is very good faculty, very good infrastructure when it comes to research. We have huge modern research labs over here. And we have an interdisciplinary science where we allow students to work in any area of choice. We have an incubation center over here. So if any student has some idea, so they are being supported in this. So, in a way, like having excellent excellent experience with faculty members, the same is actually imparted to the students. And we recently have a excellence center in herbal. What is it
Yes.
called? No, it was it. Center of Excellence in Herbal Drugs. Right? So it is supported by Ayush. So we have been working simultaneously at the herbal like Ayush level also. So we give experience to students in all fields that is possible. So if you expose students to different fields, because you cannot teach them each and every we can say thing, but you need to expose them at least. You have to expose them that this is the world. You have to train them in such a way that this is the world you have to explore into, and that helps them and help them gain confidence in the area.
Thank you very much, madam, for putting some light, and definitely some student. I know, madam, that in our participants, there are many who are GATE or GPAT qualified and rankers in there. So probably this will help them to choose the right institute for themselves. Over to Rashmi, madam, for taking the proceedings ahead.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for addressing all the questions. I would like to welcome Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh, HOD Associate Professor from the VS College of Pharmacy, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rashmi, for giving me this opportunity to present the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank our advisor and trustee in charge, Mr. D.L. Burani ji, who has been always behind us, that take the institute forward and let people know about WISCOM and go and help the people out of the box. And that is our objective, to help all our students. We consider all the students as our only. It's not that only WISCOM benefited, right? We are available for everybody. So with that objective, both our charge as well as our advisor, Professor Chandradas Madam, they both support us in this idea and help us going beyond. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to our principal madam, Supriya Shida madam. She always says that please do this kind of activity, let students be helped, and always add something new to what you had done last year, so that in a better we can help the society. It is giving back to the society. Thank you, Supriya madam, for your kind motivation and support forever available with us. I would like to also thank the co-organizer of this research connect series. This is the third year we had been organizing this event very successfully. So Rajshri Hirlikar madam, who is head of the Department of Department of Pharmaceutics, and Dr. Anita Aire madam, who is head of the Department for Quality Assurance Department at VS College of Pharmacy. Along with them, I had been organizing this workshop from full time, right? And I would like to extend my vote of thanks to my team who has been helping me to organize this workshop. And I'm very sure that we have done it satisfactorily and successfully. So, Rashmi Wani madam, Dr. Anand Chittakrede sir, and at the back end, we also had Dr. Reshma Tendulkar madam helping us day in, day out to organize this talk successfully. I'd like to thank Madam for accepting our Mymoona Madam for accepting our invitation. Of just one invitation, and delivering is Madam. You were not confident in the initial that whether I will be able to deliver it, but I assure that you have done that all justice with the topic, and really some things are there which even I have learned from this webinar. So you started from right from why so many subjects and ended your workshop, ended your talk that be job provider, learn all these skills. You emphasize having all new sets of skills. Just having the degree of BPharm and MPharm may not be sufficient in future. So keep on adding the load to your CV. That is the take-home message for all our students. And one very nice part which I like, Madam, quote unquote, that you emphasize on the requirement, what industry wants from you and what benefit you can give to an industry. If you can highlight that, then definitely it increases your chance of getting good opportunities at the better organization and grow your career. And few more areas I'll just like to again quote unquote, like you talked about that it is the era of big molecules. Small molecules are thing of past now. Metabolomics, coding, programming, IT, nutraceutical, medical devices, advertising, pharmacoeconomics, telehealth, biomarker, 3D printing, and field of developing apps. So these are something new which people have taken from this workshop. And definitely, I would like to thank all the participants for patient listening. I'm very sure that you have learned these things together. Please keep in touch with us. We'll be floating more such very important talks for you. Thank you very much, everybody. Over to Rashmi Madam for taking it ahead.
Thank you, sir, for your vote of thanks. I request all the participants to subscribe our college YouTube channel for the upcoming sessions, and also today's sessions notes and PPTs will be available on our college YouTube channel. The feedback link is already posted in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form so that you will get the certificate within 2 to 3 working days. Thank you, all of you.